I want to address an elephant in the room, where science says that you can't say anything about things that are non-physical, or that somehow science, there's this big division between spiritual, sort of non-physical things and physical things. And I think it's a really big lie. Dr. Michael Guillen, a PhD physicist, graduated from Harvard and was a professor at Cornell. He was actually a colleague of the famous late atheist Carl Sagan. And he was an atheist too, Dr. Michael Guillen, for a long time. And then he started doing a bunch of research looking at all the major questions of life, questions about even origins of the universe and of origins of life, and just life in general, and looked at these major questions of life in his book, Believing is Seeing. As an atheist, he was looking at these things and just realized that atheism doesn't answer the questions very well at all. And in fact, most of the questions in science are answered better, much, much better by theism. And the evidence actually supports this. A lot of atheists don't maybe recognize it or realize it. But of course, when you look at history and the history of scientists, the vast, vast majority of them were theists, not atheists, believers. You might say, oh, that's just because of the culture they grew up in. Sure. We could say that. But the question is, was their belief in an unseen realm, a spiritual realm, actually holding them back or opening up their understanding of science? And I would argue very strongly that it opened up their view. One of the great scientists of the last couple centuries was Michael Faraday. Very, very strong believer in Christ. He's the one that developed field theory, and the one that we attribute most of our understanding of electricity and magnetism. What are fields? They are areas that are unseen that are affecting the seen. We see the results of masses attracting, of electric fields causing charges to move, and magnetic fields. We can observe the results, but we don't see the actual sources. We just know that there's these invisible things called fields. Michael Faraday developed that, and he was a believer in Christ. And you might say, well, that's just sort of coincidental. Actually, it's not at all, because most of the Newton, Isaac Newton, Galileo, most of the Maxwell, his equations that describe most of light, all of these people were people of faith. It was their faith actually that was opening the door to seeing unseen things. And if you look at quantum mechanics even today, unseen realities are just jumping out at us, and dynamics of even thoughts affecting physical results. It's such an interesting realm we dwell in. So I'd love to hear